do it.
Damn. I forgot the light not even on. Sheesh. God damn. What's the deal, y'all? YingYangSports back at it with another episode. We got Caleb again for what's this, the third straight day now?
Yeah, what's going on?
He said he liking it here. He said I haven't ran him off yet. It's like nah. What you call? How was your weekend?
It was good. Went out on the water on Saturday. Didn't put sunscreen on like a dumb idiot, so my face is hurting pretty bad, shoulders, everything. But yeah, it was cool.
Gotta use that sunscreen. This weekend I was chilling. I went to my friend's grad party on Saturday. Chilled there with him and his family, and then on Sunday I just recorded a video for a dude. And that was about it. I didn't really do too much.
What kind of food they got at the grad party?
What did they have? They had I didn't eat. No, I did eat there. So they because I don't eat meat. I don't know if you know that.
Oh, really?
So yeah, a lot of places I don't really like. Yeah. I eat before I get to like a lot of places. I know they're not gonna tend to me.
Yeah.
So I think when I went there, I only grabbed macaroni. Yeah, that's all I grabbed was macaroni. So I don't know what else was there.
Totally fine with that. Macaroni, yeah. Great choice.
It was good though. But yeah, no, what you call it? Really, we got a light show for y'all today. We got not too much. We're gonna just speculate about some of the Pistons draft options coming up for this draft Wednesday. And then Alan W, what's the deal? How you doing, man? And then really just talk about whatever y'all want to talk about in the chat or whatever come to our mind throughout the show. Yeah. But yeah, start off. No, we both don't watch hockey that much, but it's a historic Game 7 coming up. Like I'm gonna actually tune into this game.
You gotta watch this.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, I think if you're a sports fan in general, you have to watch this game just for the simple fact that it's not something you're gonna see every day. It's not something that you're probably gonna see again in your lifetime. Like,
yeah.
The last time
happened before?
The last time a team came back for 3-0 in general or 3-0 in the Stanley Cup?
I guess both. Like
3-0 in general, it has happened in hockey and baseball. I think it's happened more in hockey. Mm-hmm. Baseball has happened once. Red Sox, Yankees in like 2000.
Man, I don't remember that.
It was like 2005, 2006. It was something like that. And then am I the only one who doesn't want Matisse? I'm
with you there.
I was gonna say I'm gonna answer that in like a quick second. Just let us get this NHL out the way, and then we're gonna get right to that because that's actually a good point because that's why I put it on the thumbnail. But oh yeah, so like what the fuck? In hockey it has happened once in 1942.
In the Stanley Cup, or just
in the Stanley Cup, the Toronto Maple Leafs was down 3-0 and came back on the Red Wings.
That's crazy.
So yeah, no, that's why it's like if you're a sports fan, you have to tune in for this game. You have like who you want to see win.
I mean, at this point,
I think everybody. Like I picked the Panthers to win like a couple rounds ago, but I want to see Edmonton win now.
See what the line is for that game.
But yeah, no, what you call it? But to your question, Alan W, that is the next point that I was gonna get into anyway. But the Pistons draft will be drafting on Wednesday at the 5th pick. For the third straight year in a row. How do you first of all, how do you feel about that?
Like that we're drafting 5th?
Yeah, for the third straight year in a row. Second straight year with the worst record.
I mean, it's dumb. I mean, how obviously the lottery prevents like tanking real hard, but still, you have the worst team in basketball. We've lost 28 straight games, and we don't get. I don't want to say rewarded because you should never be rewarded for something like that, but like. It's almost unfair, and you can't be that mad about it this year just because the draft class is not very good.
Yeah.
But still, it's like I don't know, just the thought that we could be at the number 1 pick or should be at the number 1 pick and get to choose from everybody makes me upset.
I said what really has shown with this lottery is the NBA has a problem with the lottery, and it's because like there's no way the Hawks should have been a team that just missed the play-in and playoffs, and now they're they're literally getting the number one pick. It's like if a team. I'm trying to think of a team that like just missed the playoff. Bro, prime example. OKC just missed the play-in last year, or not just missed the play-in, but they just missed the playoffs. They was in the play-in. That's how the Hawks was, and I think they ended like 10th or 9th. Yeah, they ended 10th or 9th. It was one of the two. But what you call it? So put it like that. If the Thunder last year were to get the number one pick for last year's draft, they would have been getting fucking Wemby. Like, that's why I was like, I think they need to like put a cap on it. So it's like, if you fall in between the, say, like, if your record is such and such, you're guaranteed to be top 10. But if you have like a certain standing, or if you're a certain standing in your conference or in your conference, that's what I call it.
Or they could split like the lottery in two. So like, the bottom two teams from each conference are the only teams that could get the number one pick.
Yeah.
And then 2 through 14 or whatever the lottery is.
Yeah, that's how I was trying to explain. I just didn't know how to put it into words for real. But he said if we trade back, but I don't like him at number 5. I know his class is ass, but I'd be pissed. See, the point I'm at, bro, I haven't seen Matas Bullis like hoop too much. So I'm not like, I wouldn't be like, oh, like, why the fuck did we draft? Why did we draft him? Da 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 da. But it's just like he talking about where did y'all bury Jesus? Jesus is out of town. He'll be
my
back.
show now.
Oh shit, Caleb that took him hostage.
I'm just kidding.
So nah, but no, really, he out of town. He'll be back tomorrow.
Yeah, but when it comes to Matas, he's raw, obviously. But like, the reason I don't want to take him is because I could be wrong. I think he's a Tellum client. So I don't want the Tellums to get what they want. Because they're still a part of the Pistons organization, and it's all lining up that we're going to take him. It's like, if you look on, the odds, it's like plus 125 that you take him at 5. But I think I've said this before on here. I just hope we just don't pick. Trade the pick. Trade it for
that's
whoever.
fair.
Brandon Ingram.
See, I've been saying I'm not really too far on the Brandon Ingram train just because, like, I feel like the point that he at his career, it won't really, how should I put it? If this was like Brandon Ingram when he first got to the Pelicans, I'd be like, oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Bring it. But it's like Brandon Ingram that's then like.
He's 26, though. And I know he didn't have the greatest playoffs. Or he shot in, like, Game 7, he had, 2 points or something. I don't know. That just feels like the perfect dude to me next to Cade. I mean, another guy that could get a bucket whenever you need it. And, dude, doesn't it feel like he's, 29? Because every time...
No, it definitely does.
Yeah, because I feel like he's...
Well, this is... He must be going on 28. Yeah, or not 28. He has to be going on 27 because he got drafted when he was 19. And this is about to be his 8th year.
He was in the...
He got drafted second. Yeah, I was about to say he got drafted second.
Yeah, it was Ben Simmons than him.
I think it low-key was... No, it was Ben Simmons.
It was either Ben Simmons or Fultz.
That's what I was just about to say. I think it was low-key Markelle Fultz.
It was like him, Tatum.
I'm getting them two mixed. I think Tatum was part of the Fultz crew.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because, Lonzo Ball went after Markelle Fultz. Or was that...
No, I think it...
Bro, let me just... That's why I'm like, though, it's fucking me up because the top 3 order was the same exact way for 2 straight years.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm like getting them intertwined.
I think so. It was that Lakers team. I think it was Bi, Julius Randle, like Larry Nance Jr. And then the next year is Lonzo, and then the year after that LeBron came. I could be wrong, but I think that's what it is. I'll look it up.
Yeah, no, I'm like LeBron came. Let me think. Yeah, Lonzo only played 1 year in the league before LeBron had came. But OKC had his ass clamped up in the playoffs. Yeah, Brandon Ingram was looking weird in the playoffs. Like, when I say weird, I mean, like, it seemed like he didn't, like, his brain, something was off with how he was thinking. Like, bro, granted, Lou Dort is a great defender, but when you have a great defender checking, you can't play around with it. And, like, first couple games, he, like, was playing around with him, like, trying to, like, be pretty and get a bucket. Like, he wasn't fazed by him. But it's like, bro, you have to. It's just like when a fighter tries to act like they're not going to acknowledge another fighter's power coming back towards him. Like, bro, he's a good defender. Stop trying to play around with the ball in front of him. Like, you're like 5-6 inches taller than him. Just raise up.
Yeah.
He started trying to do that, but by that point, he was already out of his rhythm and all that type of shit. It was bad.
If they end up trading Bi, I'll be upset. I wanted to see that team, like when they had it was, because I'm a big Lonzo Ball fan. Well, I guess was if he ever plays in the league again, but it was Lonzo, Zion, This is right after they trade AD, so everybody almost counted him out. But then they get the number 1 pick. They get Zion, Brandon Ingram, Lonzo. I'm not 100% sure if CJ McCollum was on that team at the time. But,
CJ McCollum just got there last year.
Yeah, but that team was – I loved that team. I thought they were going to win a championship. Just because, I mean, I thought Zion's a great player, but I thought he was going to be, like, really, really dominant. Like,
what's funny is he just don't be out there consistently enough. Because it's like, bro, I think – if I remember correctly, like Zion is averaging like career-wise like 26 and 8.
Yeah, which I'm probably like 60-70% shooting or something.
Yeah, no, he crazy, but he's just not out there.
He's gonna be one of those guys. I feel like he's just always gonna be underrated.
All right, I was off. It was 24.7, so I'll give him 25. So he averaging 25 and 6.5 rebounds.
Still crazy.
Yeah,
and like he could. I don't want to say he could. I mean, I guess he can. He can run the floor. Like, he runs a fast break, and he can find open guys. Like, Zion Williamson is going to be one of those guys that everybody just kind of not forgets about, but underrates his whole career.
No, they definitely do. They definitely do because, like I said, it's for the simple fact that he's barely out there.
Yeah, you gotta stay healthy.
And then Mavs are linked to Jeremy Grant. You think that would get them over the hump? I want Jeremy Grant back on the Pistons. For a team like the Mavs, Jeremy Grant would just be like a little. He would damn near be like just another PJ Washington for them, almost like a little bit. Like on certain nights, one of them might play a little bit better than the other, but for the most part, I don't really think of a sign like Jeremy Grant or Jeremy. They need a 3-and-D player. That's what they really need. Some 3-and-D. They need a player that they're gonna like be able to like stick out there and just check somebody like. I'm trying to think of a player like that would be perfect for them right now.
I was gonna say like OG, but they don't have the money for it.
Yeah, no, I'm trying to think of like in the same realm of Jeremy Grant, like
a guy. What's his name? He wasn't very good last year, but he has a history of being pretty good. It's Royce O'Neal. That's a guy they can go out and get.
That's fair.
Guy.
Yeah, that's what you call it. Yeah, I damn near look at like a signing like that, Royce O'Neal and Jeremy Grant. Granted, Grant is a better player, but I would look at. For what the Mavericks need, I would look at that as like identical signings.
Yeah.
Because they wouldn't really need Jeremy Grant to be going out there being, in my opinion, I don't even think they would be really looking towards a Jeremy Grant to be like, well, they would be looking toward be the third option, but it's just like they wouldn't be looking like reliant on him scoring 20 points per game.
Yeah, you need to, if you're the Mavs, you need to find another Derrick Jones, basically, like a guy that can play defense and shoot the three. Because when you have that terrible of a defensive backcourt, Kyrie and Luka. I mean, you saw what happened in the finals. Like, you can't guard anyone.
Yeah, what you call it? They say Cade, Grant, Duran, though. Eyes emojis. We won, 14 games last year? All right, that trio would be 24.
Yeah. Still not a playoff team. Still not a playoff team, but I guess it's a step in the right direction.
No, it definitely is. But I would say a player like Jeremy Grant, especially when still thinking about the Mavericks, is like when he puts up his numbers that you like see him like, how should I say it? Like the year where he was on the Nuggets and he wasn't like the number one option and players was like, people was like, oh, he could be like that player. I think that's like where he should have like stayed at. How should I say, like he should have stayed in that mold in that realm of player, like those players that just help boost teams over the edge. I think the problem was when he came to the Pistons, they were looking at him like, all right, you be the number one now. Jeremy Grant is nowhere near a number one option.
And that's a great point because now that's what he's labeled as. So now teams are looking at him, they're like, well, now that he's a ball dominant 4.
Yeah,
like
that's what I'm saying. Like his best bet because he just was on the Trailblazers putting up like 20 points a game too. So it's like, yeah, I'd say that all the time. Like, yeah, on bad teams you should be putting up good stats if you're a good player.
Yeah,
but. I don't know. And nobody's guarding the 2024 Celtics, though. They had the best spacing in history for guys in the court. Yeah, no, that's why I was, like, trying to think, like, based off, like, how, I ain't gonna lie, even with the way the Mavericks played, I low-key think they would have had trouble with a couple teams on the East. They would have definitely had trouble with a couple teams on the East. They would have had trouble with a fully healthy Pacers team. They would have had trouble with the Knicks for sure if they were fully healthy. Bro, I had the Knicks beating anybody.
Yeah, next year that's a top 4.
People thought I was crazy when I before the playoffs started. I was like, bro, Knicks going to the finals. They like, what? I'm like, bro, Knicks are going to the finals.
I was one of those dudes too when they signed Brunson. I was like, and they gave him that bag. I was like, that's not a good deal for them.
See, no, bro, I ain't gonna lie. I've been liking Jalen Brunson since college.
Yeah.
So, like, I just, like, certain players that I've had in it, like, a liking for a long time, I just feel like they can do a lot, if that makes sense. So, like, I've been watching but Brunson in college, and I'm like, all right, this is how he played. This is how, this is how he, like, I see his potential, like, based off how he's been playing in college when he was the number one option. Yeah. All right, now in the Mavericks, he, like, the number 3, 4, some nights 6. Like, he just fluctuate, but he was, like, he was just rolling with it no matter what the night brought him. Like, players like that show me, like, all right, you were a real special player. If you could go from, like, one night getting 20 shots to the next night getting 8, then you go to 15 shots, then you go back down to 10, and you just able to, like, stay with that. Yeah, I gain, like, a super respect for you because that rhythm is, like, a lot. So when you can hoop with no rhythm, that just showed me, like, you just a hooper. And that's how Jalen Brunson was for, like, most of his career.
When you explain a player like that, we need Jaden Ivey to be exactly like that. Like, because you have a guy like Cade who's going to get his 20 shots a game. And, I mean...
That's a good comparison, actually.
And what, like, Ivey struggled last year was, like... And a lot of blame goes to Monty was he couldn't find his role. Like, am I the scorer off the bench, or am I the number 2 to Cade? And which I think everybody expected him to be the number 2 to Cade. But you just need to, for a guy like him, and what Brunson did well is when it's not your night to score, find different ways to, contribute.
Yeah, literally. And even though a lot of people hate him now, but Jason Tatum, like I was telling Braylon before the show a lot of times, I'm like, he would be coming in, Tatum had another back end. I'm like, Braylon, he had 8 assists, 10 assists. Like,
I think he averaged like 8.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, Braylon, like, all right, he's not giving you 35, 40 points. Sorry.
Yeah.
But he's giving you 25. Granted, it wasn't an efficient 25 or efficient whatever the points he had. But he's giving you that, and he's giving you assists. So it's like he's not just dumping the team lower and lower with his bad shooting. He's like, all right, I'm not really hitting shots right now.
Yeah.
Let me start facilitating around. And then I want to get to how you feel about Trajan saying he thinks Ivy and K can work with each other. They can work with each other. Like, bro, when I watched dang, you deleted a comment that I was going to answer. I think he said something about, Tibbs ran his players into the ground.
Yeah, he does. He tends to do that.
He does. I actually feel like, in my opinion, I felt like that was conditioning for the playoffs because you're going to get knocked down to 7, 8 man rotation anyway. In the regular season, you run like a 10-man or sometimes 11-man rotation. Mm-hmm. When it comes to the playoffs, most teams anyway bump it down to about 7, 8. So it's like when you just get your team used to running that way, it's like I should really say the deeper they get in playoffs because like round 1 and sometimes 2 teams will still be like, no, round 2 that's when it for sure gets shrunk down. But round 1 teams will still be trying to play around with it. But it's like if you know already who you got on your bench, it's like I'm more so I don't know. But yeah, no, he talking about it can't be a coincidence they have major. That's the point I was going to answer. I don't really based off the injuries they was getting like. I'm trying to remember, like, OG Anunoby hamstring. That could definitely be a case. But it's like, I don't know.
What was Julius Randle? Was he ankle?
Julius Randle has been, he been injured. I think it was, like, shoulder, ankle. Like, he always got something going on. It felt like Julius Randle had, like, 2 surgeries in the past, like, couple months.
Yeah.
I actually want to see, because I for the longest was, like, he been out for a grip. Like, I thought he would have been, shoulder injury. But I don't know. But back to the original point of, do you think Trajan, how do you feel about Trajan saying he thinks Cade and Ivy can work together?
I don't know. I think you have to kind of say something like that because
no, definitely PC.
Yeah, they're on your team, and no moves been made yet. But when it comes to do I think they can, that's such a tough answer because I would like to say yes.
Yeah.
But I don't know. They sucked so bad last year, and who knows how? I mean, it's a lot of Monty's fault, but I don't know. They were just so bad last year, and they had no chemistry with each other.
I think we could see like the potential that most people think about that duo. If really, we got to be honest with ourselves about Cade shooting too. When I watch a lot of Cade games, bro, he is not like how should I say it? He not like people like think he like damn near like a great 3-point shooter. Cade is a good 3-point shooter.
Yeah.
He's not like
he's not
really like I ain't gonna lie, if he got an open 3, I'm 50-50 with him. Like some players, if I see him take an open 3, I'm like, oh, that's in.
Yeah.
I see Cade take an open 3, I'm like, that's 50-50.
Yeah. He's just really good at like finding his spot like in the mid range. Like we in the heavies were talking about it the other day. Like a good comparison for me, offensively for Cade, like the ceiling could be like Devin Booker, like finding a spot in the mid range at the elbow, and I think he could become a great 3-point shooter.
Yeah, no, I definitely can't because it ain't like I feel Asur will never be a good shooter in this league. I won't say never, but I don't feel like Asur is gonna like. I don't think at any point really we're gonna be looking to Asur to be shooting the ball because like for when I've seen like people shoot bad, they had to like give me like some basis of like how they form or like they numbers. Like he shot, I think if I remember correctly, like 13%. Like
something like 13%
from 3. I don't really, and it wasn't at like a point where it was like peaks and valleys. It was just consistently bad. Like,
yeah. And he's getting wide open corner threes too. Because
if it would have been like peaks and valleys, it would have been like, all right, maybe this is just something with like his head. And like you said, they wide open too. So it's like maybe it's something with his head. Maybe he's not thinking like, but no, I think he just won't be a shooter in this league. But to that point, I would say with Allen, kind of similar to Allen W, Jaden Ivey would have to get to the point where he like makes defenses think about him shooting. Like, because a lot of times defenses are going to clog the paint and just like kick it out to him. But if he kick it out to him and he can't really knock down shots, you try to drive, paint clogged, and that's where you just see like the inefficiencies in our offense and just at times looking like we didn't really know what to be doing or really have an identity. That's really what I like. The Pistons don't really have too much of an identity on like either side of the ball for real.
And I think when we always talk about like getting shooters for Cade, like surrounding Cade with shooters, Jaden Ivey would also really benefit with having shooters around him too, so that lane isn't always clogged with Duren down there.
No, definitely.
And because that's what Ivey does. He's downhill, get to the bucket. But you really can't do that when you literally don't have a shooter on the floor besides Bojan, if you want to count him when we had him. But you could, dude. Every time he tried to get to the hole, it was clogged. Every single time for Ivey. And then he just ended up making a stupid play, a young player play.
Yeah, no.
And
jump passes, all types of shit.
So I'm so in between on Ivey.
I'm saying way.
Better defensively too.
Yeah, I'm saying way. I'm very in between on him. Like, I should say it like this. Perfect example. Like, if the Pistons were like, if I was to get a notification right now, the Pistons traded him, I really wouldn't be too mad. I wouldn't be too mad, but I wouldn't be like cheering in glee, like, oh, we don't have Ivy. It just would be like, let's see how this work out. That's more so how I feel. I feel like Ivy tries to do too much with the ball. Yeah, no, I feel the same way. That's like a lot of young players though trying to do too much with the ball.
And that had a lot to do with he was coming off the bench and wasn't getting crazy tick because of Monty. So, and as a young player who just came off a pretty decent rookie season and then getting sent to the bench, I think you're going to want to try to do as much as you can. So hopefully we get a head coach brought in. If we do end up keeping Ivy, that can kind of tell him, hey, slow down. Like, you're going to get your minutes. Just don't try to do too much with them, if that makes sense. And
people were curious if we were going to hire a coach before the draft. And I told them, I'm like, probably not.
Yeah.
And the draft is Wednesday, so, and we still haven't even got, like, a name of, like, who I don't think we've had, like, anything come out of, like, who they've interviewed. I don't think they have interviewed anybody.
I think they have an interview set up with Dallas's assistant coach. I can't remember the name off the top of his head. If somebody knows it, put in the chat.
I know you're not talking about God, Sham God.
No, he's their defensive guy. I can't think of his name. But him, there was a report today. I didn't read the whole thing. It was I think it was Woj or something about Borrego. Pistons are interested in Borrego. And another dude was, God, I can't remember. But yeah, the Dallas assistant coach was one of them.
Tight. What you call it? Yeah, no. I honestly, I don't know who. Daryl Armstrong, Sean Sweeney. Yeah, that was the name that I did here. But yeah, I don't really know, man. Like, I'm not gonna get on here and act like I'm a guru and be like, oh, we should hire this guy. He has the plan that's gonna get our team. Yeah. I'm not gonna get on here and lie to y'all like that.
The only thing that sucks about not getting a coach before the draft is like, you would like your head coach, who's going to be coaching this young kid, to have an insight like on who he wants. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I could see that, but my thing was I said they probably just be better off if you like draft, like literally draft whoever you want, and then be like, all right, bro.
Yeah.
I should say it like this. It's no different than him stepping into a team that's already there.
Yeah.
So it's like, all right, we've drafted him. Like, you got to just deal with it. That's really what it come down to. It's like,
and there's no way in this class that like there's a coach that they're like, you got to get this kid. He's so good. Because there's not a player like that in this draft. Again, I'm also not a scout.
I would say I was in there telling Ryan, he was we was talking about the draft a little bit. I said our safest pick would probably be Cody Williams.
Yep, that's if we're at 5, that's the guy I want.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say I would be like, all right, the Pistons, they know what they don't know what they're doing a little bit.
Or if Reed Shepard's there, but I don't think he'll be there.
See, I'm not too big of a fan of Reed Shepard, especially for our team though, because it's like. He kind of small, ain't he? If I'm not mistaken, like 6'2", 6'3". Yeah,
which is tough.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, I ain't really. If he would have been like just a big guard who could have played off ball, or like if he would have been like Dalton Connect size.
I was just gonna say, what do you think about him? If you move back to get him.
Only thing about Dalton Connect is he low key old, so that automatically put him in that role player mindset. Damn near like.
How old was Brunson when he got drafted?
Brunson.
22.
He had to have been like.
Because he was a senior when he won the Wooden Award, I think.
Let's see.
Is that what that's called, the Wooden Award?
Yeah, talking about like for national player and everything. He was drafted 2018. So how old is he now? He is 27. So.
Oh shit! So he wasn't that.
What's that? 2018, 6 years, 21.
Yeah, I mean, I guess he was pretty young when he got drafted.
Yeah, no, because I think Dalton Connect is like 24. Yeah, that's why I'm like, because the last player I remember being drafted that was that age was Chris Duarte, and
kind of a 1-year one.
I was gonna say some people probably like who.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, Chris Duarte, he not on the Pacers no more. Who is he on? Damn. I can't.
Not on the Blazers, is he?
He may be. Maybe
the Heat.
No, I think he actually is on the Blazers. I know. On the Kings, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I know he's like on a team where that like was close to making the playoffs.
But yeah, Cody Williams is the guy I definitely want at 5. I think he fits what we do perfectly. He could shoot the 3, even though he only averaged like 2 threes a game, like attempted. It's just like the perfect guy we need. Great defender. He's a 3-and-D guy, and you can get him at 5. He can run the fast break, which we kind of struggled with last year, just because you have a lot of young players, and the decision making on the fast break wasn't great.
Shout out Speakeasy Sports.
Yeah, but Connect's also. I mean, he's just a high floor guy. Like if you could move back to 10, I don't really know what teams are looking to move up, especially in this draft. But if you can move back to like 10 and Connect's still there because of his age. I mean, I don't hate that. A high floor player.
It's like, I like the Cody Williams one because it's like, yeah, you said he didn't attempt too many threes. But in college, yeah, more and more certain teams are like attempting more threes. But from when I was watching Colorado play, granted, I'm not going to lie. That's one thing. I got to preface every time. I'm not going to sit here and lie to y'all. I was not watching like hella Colorado basketball games. But, like, when it got closer to the tournament and I saw they were, like, one of the bubble teams and I saw they were still, like, decent, I'm like, all right. I checked out, like, a couple of games near the end of the season. Like, they, what the fuck is that called? Conference tournament. Conference tournament, and then they play-in game. And they had him, and then there was another dude, Silva. They was, like, some solid players.
Yeah,
like,
I think he's supposed to be a first-rounder, too.
Yeah, they had all players who hoop, like, this is how I preface. They hoop nasty. Like, they didn't have nobody that hoop flashy. But they had, like, players who would, like, be good pro prospects. Like, players who could come in and fit. Like, that's one thing that, like, I think is, like, important that people don't realize for a player to be great in the NBA. They have to, like, fit some form of mold. Yeah. Like, if you come in as a player who is, like, got all the ability and talent of the world to just be the number one scorer, but you don't have, like, have it up top, the mindset to be the number one scorer, and then you in a team that's trying to have you be like the number 3 scorer, sometimes number 4, maybe sometimes you gotta be the number 2. They don't really know what you are. They don't know if you an inside, like, driving to the rim, driving kick type of guy. They don't know if you a catch and shoot type of guy. They just know, like, all right, he can score. But it's like, what mold do you fit in as a scorer? Like,
yeah, and like you said, it's important to find your role, like, soon. Because what you see a lot of players doing now is they don't find their role until they're, like, 4th or 5th season in the NBA. If you could find that early, and, like, you could show a team that, look, I'm a 3-and-D guy, or I'm a facilitator that can come off the bench. Like, if you're a guy like that, you're going to get significant tick on a team because you already know what you are.
No, yeah, I was going to say, and you can develop better into that role.
Yeah.
So, like, if you come into the league, like, say the line, or I'm talking lines, say the Pistons draft Cody Williams, and they're like, all right, we look at you as a 3-and-D player. So his rookie year, he just knocking down threes, playing defense, locking down players, and then what you call it, he get his confidence. He like, all right, bro. The prime example is Mikal Bridges. What you call it? Come in. He come in as a role player, 3-and-D guy, cut to the rim, hit open shots, boom, like come off the bench, give you threes when you need it. But he played so good in that role that it just like it develops into more the quicker you get into it. That's what I should say. Yeah. Like if you get into that, if by like your 5th year you become a 3-and-D guy, you just stuck at that. They're like, all right, just get in that corner, play defense. But if your rookie year, you flourish in that role, and you on like the same level as like a 4th, 5th year guy at a 3-and-D guy, like in your 1st, 2nd year, the team is gonna be more prone to be like, all right, let's let him do a little bit more now. Let's see if he can like they started doing it with Mikal Bridges. He bringing the ball up now. He facilitating a little bit. All right, now he can do that. All right, now they giving him a couple ISOs here and there. Now he getting his own bucket. Then you look up, you built an immense trade value for him. Granted, they got KD for him, but it's like you were able to use him and then Cam Johnson, Royce O'Neal, and then 2 other players. Yeah, then you see when he gets to a team like the Nets, he's just he's ready to be the number 1 dude from going to a role like that because he came in knowing his mold. He knew his role. Yeah,
I mean, look at a guy like Ausar Thompson. Like he's been like him and his brother have been guards. Like, really, their whole lives.
Dominant guards.
Yeah, dominant guards. And you see what happens when you make his role playing off ball. I get it, he's learning. But he was abysmal offensively last year. Like, he was terrible. And that's a guy that I'm really curious to see, like, what they kind of turn him into. If he is a Piston, because I can maybe see him being a trade, you know.
I definitely could, too, yeah.
But I'm definitely curious to see, like, where they – decide to use him offensively. Because right now he's just a ghost.
Yeah, no, he has no. Because I was arguing with my friend this throughout like the middle of the season. Because I was telling him, I'm like, bro, I already said it on here before, but I'll say it again. I'm like, bro, Pistons low key made a mistake not drafting Cam Whitmore 5.
Yeah.
Instead
he
of
fell
to 20th.
Yeah.
And I'm like, bro, Pistons low key made like a mistake. Cause I'm like, the production that Ausar will give you will be the production of a 20th overall pick.
Yeah.
I'm like, Cam Whitmore, the production he will give you from the 20th pick will be of a 5th overall pick.
Yeah.
So I'm like, his what you call, what's the word I should say? Ceiling is just whatever the amount of work he decides to put in from what I've seen him play.
Defensively, he's great, though.
Bro, thank you for saying that. I literally was trying to tell my friend, I'm like, bro, Cam Whitmore can like play defense. Like,
yeah.
He's
a good overall player.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, he's not just like a slouch, because he was trying to say like the main claim is like Ausar will be able to lock up players or like teams' best player. I'm like, bro, for me personally,
I think he could. I think Ausar can do that too.
What you call it? No, he was saying that's what he was saying. He's saying Ausar can lock up a team best player. But I'm like, bro, Cam Whitmore. I was watching the game. I'm like, I was watching him check Paul George. I'm like, and he was doing a great job doing it. He got a steal on him. I'm like,
dude, that team, I hate Houston just because, like, if you kind of look at it right now, like, that's the team, like, the Jalen Green, Cade Cunningham, like, whatever. But
I completely forgot about that.
I don't like them, but that team, okay, so if Jalen Green's potential is sick, Amen Thompson is going to be a dog if he could learn how to shoot, too.
He shot a little bit better, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, than Ausar did.
Yeah.
You got Sengun, he's not going to be as good as Jokic, but he's like a baby Jokic. You got Cam Whitmore. You got Jabari Smith. I mean, that team's loaded. That team's going to be really, really good. And then
never mind. He shot the same exact percentage.
Oh, damn. but whatever. He's going to be sweet. And then you got a guy like Fred VanVleet, who they paid, who's a And Derek Brooks, whatever. He was okay. But you got a guy like Fred VanVleet who's been to a championship and he knows what playoff
Dylan
basketball
Brooks.
is like. Yeah, what'd I say?
Because I got confused for a second. I'm like, wait, huh?
Yeah, Dylan Brooks, who you could say whatever you want about him, but he's a decent 3-and-D guy.
He's
not a part of their future, but
and they got Jabari Smith too.
Yeah.
So what you call it? Then I would just say, what time is it? Oh yeah, time to start wrapping up. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, Cam Whitmore shot 36% from 3, averaged 13 points or 12 points. It's just like I feel he's on a team that's like it's too much talent almost in his position.
Yeah.
Like if he would have got drafted to the Pistons, then I think the narrative on him would be like very different. Like I think right now he at that point where like this second year would definitely be the one that like put people on notice. But
he didn't play a lot. He was like in the G League for a
bro.
little
That's
bit.
what I was trying to tell him. I'm like, bro, he didn't play until January.
Mm-hmm.
Like he would get like little tick here and there, but he didn't play until January. Then literally as soon as he came in, like I think like his second game or third game, 20-point game, like he was just crazy. He's a scorer.
Yeah.
But he's a scorer who can like. That's how I look at him. He's an aggressive player. Like he gonna get after it. He gonna get after it on defense. He gonna get after it on offense. He's just gonna get after it.
Yeah.
That's the type of player I like. But yeah, no, that's enough of us yapping, man. We about to get ready to let Caleb get ready to go do his job. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. Caleb, you got anything to tell them while in the stream?
Yeah, just thanks for having me, and hope you guys have a great week. Check out Heavyweights, 5 o'clock.
Peace. Appreciate you again.
Yeah, if Justin's back tomorrow, thanks for having me on these couple days. This is cool.